Here we have for sale our September 2015 on a 65 plate Land Rover Defender 90 station wagon. This one has got the 2.2 litre Tdci diesel Euro 5 engine producing 122 PS, 6-speed manual gearbox. What we're going to do in this video is have a little walk around. I'll show you the spec that you get on a Defender 90 station wagon of this age, and we'll also have a really good look at the condition of this particular example. We'll also have a look at, talk you through the previous ownership, what this vehicle has been used for, why it's got such incredibly low miles, and also have a look at the service history and things like that to, of course, back all of that up. Starting here then at the rear of the vehicle, then a station wagon basically means that this one has got rear seats. You can see on the station wagon then you get glass all round, glass up here as well on the 90 as well. So 90 is a short wheelbase and a 110 is the other example. That is a long wheelbase. But as I say, this is the the 90, so 2 doors in the front, 1 in the back, and as I say, you've got the extra seats in the back as well, which fold down, which we'll talk you through. But looking at the rear of the vehicle then, generally speaking, at the rear here, it's in nice, presentable condition. I say this isn't a sort of concourse example. It has been used, but as I say, we'll have a really good look at that. But as I say, generally speaking, in really good order. At the back here, looking really nice. We can see that the rear cross member here has been done in a hard-wearing Raptor spray, which is really good because that will protect it for some future use. We've got a rear step on here, of course the Land Rover rear mudguards. We've got the tow kit as well. These are fantastic towing vehicles, 7-pin electrics in there as well, and this one has also got the nice Defender trim spare wheel cover there as well on the back. Now if we open up the rear of the vehicle, everything on these feel quite agricultural. They're all very, very sturdy, built for a purpose. That's what Defenders are known for. But looking here then, in the back of the vehicle, we've got a couple of rubber overmats on the floor. So you've got the one on top here. Underneath that, you've got the Defender one. If we lift that up then, you can see it's all nice and tidy underneath there. Now these are the rear seats, which I mentioned. So as you can see here, these are genuine Land Rover rear seats in the back, and these fold. So they fold down this way and then up that way. I can't demonstrate that with one hand, but as I say, there are some photos of the different positions that these seats go in the full advert if you haven't seen that one already. Rear seat belts, of course, so these are absolutely legal carrying seats. One thing which I'll show you from this angle, there is a bit of a tear just there in the passenger seat at the very bottom. I'm sure that could be improved with some glue or something along those lines, but as I say, worth mentioning that. There's also a rear exterior light on here as well. But as I say, all in all, looking rather tidy. A couple of areas of sort of surface corrosion in the rear here on some of the sort of more exposed metal parts. But as I say, hopefully as you can see by the camera, it's nice and presentable. And as I say, absolutely ready. This is a real blank canvas example, I would sort of describe this as. So this is very much original, hasn't been sort of messed around with too much. This is sort of original wheels and things like that, but it really is one of those examples that you can take as far as you want. On the rear of the vehicle then, they've got the light guards there, because as I say, this really is built for a purpose. Moving then around the driver's side, this is where we can start to have a look down the side of the vehicle, and this is a really nice straight example. There's one tiny little pin dent I can just see there, with a little chip there which we'll gladly touch in just to improve that slightly, but otherwise all looking really, really smart. We've got the black checker plate along the base of the vehicle there, again just to add some extra layers of protection to the vehicle. And as I say, all these little stickers here, this is all as they come for the sort of use that this was previously used for. So referred to it a few times, but this is, as I say, one owner from new vehicle. This has actually been used by our local council from brand new. So I believe they used this vehicle. Actually, I believe that they used it as sort of a snow plow, or even to get out to some difficult to reach areas in snowy conditions. And as I say, that is why this vehicle has done such low miles. So for large periods, it's probably not being used a huge amount, but then called into action when really only a Defender can sort of do the job. Opening up the driver's door, then we can start to have a look inside the cab of the vehicle, and it's all looking, again, very, very tidy and presentable. And here's some nice protective plating in certain areas around the vehicle. Again, a little bit of surface corrosion I can just see here on some of the exposed metalwork areas. Again, I'm sure it's one of those, as I say, one of those vehicles you can sort of play with and maybe just make it as your own. Condition of the seats, though, looking very, very nice indeed. There's no excessive wear or anything here. So this is the only thing I can fault on there, is just something has caught that back of that seat. That's the service history, which I'll show you in just a second. Now the vehicle is running. We've got it running for the video, so you can see it's all idling correctly. There's no warning lights or anything like that on the dashboard. And the mileage down here, 15,986 miles is all that this vehicle has covered, and I absolutely believe that is genuine. As I say, with the you know, MOT history, the service history that we've got, there's no doubt about that. Lovely condition here of the steering wheel. Again, no excessive wear or anything like that. Same with the pedals, there's no sort of excessive wear, and on the floor as well, all absolutely consistent. If we jump inside, then we can start to have a look at some of the spec in here. So I'm not going to be showing you Apple CarPlay today, but I can certainly show you what this vehicle has got. So of course we've got things like electric windows, we've got buttons here for your rear wiper and your rear wash facility there. It has got air conditioning just down here, and of course we have got the Alpine radio just there as well. But as I say, I can't show you Apple CarPlay, but I can show you some of the practical things that this vehicle's got. So 6-speed manual gearbox. Of course, these are absolutely renowned off-road vehicles. So you've got high range and low range on this vehicle, and of course you have got a diff lock as well. So as I say, these are absolutely renowned for their off-road capabilities. Plenty of storage here in the middle with a couple of cup holders as well, and the famous Land Rover clock there in the middle. But really, again, really nice condition in the front of the vehicle. Cab is all looking very, very nice indeed. Just want to show you this service history. So as I say, it has been run by the council from brand new. So we can see a number of services which have been carried out on the vehicle. So the most recent one was actually at 15,392 miles. You know, an inspection was carried out there. Previous to that, a B service and MOT, another B service and MOT. So it's been done, you know, every year, even when the vehicle has done, you know, maybe only a couple of thousand miles in that year. So as I say, lovely to see how it's been maintained. During our preparation, we put it right through our workshop. So the boys have given it a full service there. I believe they replaced some of the copper brake pipes as well. But as I say, they've been right through it with a clean bill of health now. Looking towards the front of the vehicle then, so we've got more of the black checker plate here up on the you know, either side of the bonnet. I think that really actually sets the vehicle off very nicely actually against the white. Of course, we've got the standard white steel wheels on here, so insanely practical. And I love white wheels. I think it's so rare to see white wheels now. But I think it just goes really nicely with the vehicle. Again, I'm sure many people watching this would sort of change these to their own preference, but as I say, this is really one of those vehicles that can be done. 16-inch steel wheels. You can see that they're running a 235 85 tyre, and these are the Goodyear Wrangler tyres all round on this vehicle, and looking to be in really, really good condition. Moving then around to the front here, and again, condition is looking really, really nice. Hopefully, as I say, the camera is conveying that accurately, and take the time to pause the video at any particular points if you want to sort of go back and see anything. But as I say, not a tremendous amount I can really fault it on here. As I say, this isn't a concourse example. There are, as I say, a couple of little areas of sort of little bits of just surface corrosion on like little screws or nuts and things like that. As I say, generally looking very, very nice. That front bumper's in really good condition. You often see those a bit sometimes bent out of shape and things, but that's looking really, really nice. And finally here then, looking down the passenger side and just seeing how clean and tidy that is. You have got sliding windows here in the back as well for the comfort of your rear passengers. These aren't the most comfortable vehicles in the world. As I say, very, very practical, but as I say, you can carry 4 people in here if you so wanted to. Open up the passenger door then, lovely condition there of the passenger door card. Again, step is all looking very nice. If I move this little mat out of the way there, you can just see how clean and tidy the rubber floor is underneath that. Put that back in, say move this out of the way. Looking really, really smart indeed. So just to summarise then, this is a September 2015 on a 65 plate. It's the Defender 90 station wagon with a 2.2 litre Tdci diesel Euro 5 engine, 122 PS, roughly 120 brake horsepower, 6-speed manual gearbox. Very much, you know, an original, unchanged example. Very, very low mileage. I say this has been one owner from new, used by our local council in just difficult weather, I believe. As I say, snow. As I may have had a snow plough attachment, or as I say, used in those conditions to get to hard to reach areas. When, as I say, these are just so good off road that sometimes it's really only a Defender that can do that job. So that's the history of this vehicle. We've got a lovely service history with the vehicle, as I say, by way of that printout there, which we had direct from the council. And as I say, it has been right through our workshop as well during our preparation. Hopefully this has been useful to have a really good look at the condition, and say have a look at some of the spec as well. Now, if you'd like to inquire on this vehicle, as I say, it is available for sale at the time of recording. Please head over to our website, bridgeendvans.co.uk, if you haven't been there already. This is where you'll find the full advert, including the photography, the price, and of course the description of the vehicle. We will welcome inquiries on either of the numbers listed there at the bottom of the sign. So feel free to pause the video there if you want to make a note of either of those, to give us a bell. We can arrange finance on all of our vehicles, including this one. These have got notorious, incredible residual values. So they just hold their money like almost nothing else on the market, it must be said. So that can bode really well for some finance packages. We can arrange part exchange for cars or for vans, and anything alike. We can also arrange delivery nationwide as well. Thank you very much for watching.